Hey! YouTube and other people watching this. I'm Kieran. This is my new movie review show, and I figured the best way to start off is by talking about the year. 2018 has been a long year. It's been a long slog. It's been a nice year. Fun things have happened, but also there's been some dreadful movies. I'm looking at you, Peter Rabbit. It's been a funny old year of movies. We've had some great ones, some bad ones. I don't talk about the bad ones. It's that time of the year where everything's happy. It's Christmas. That's why there's lights going on over there. And there's Christmas trees and stuff. And I just want to talk about the positives. So let's talk about 2018. The best films of 2018. Top 10. Here is number 10. Let's go. It is Hereditary. If you love horror movies, this is not for you. Yeah, it's not for you. It's a horror movie, but not for horror movie fans. Sounds a bit bizarre, because it is. Very bizarre. It's what we call an art house horror movie, and it's about this family, and the matriarch of the family, kind of the grandma, she dies. Yeah, that happens. Death kind of with horror movies. So she dies, and the entire family just goes in this spiral of nastiness, disturbances, and it's just creepy, horrible, and amazing to watch. I could not move out of my seat. I was sat there, and I didn't want to watch it, but I had to because I had to know what happened next. So there's a young girl in it called Millie Shapiro, and she plays Charlie. She does this terrifying tongue pop thing. Terrifying, makes me never want to hear that noise again. She kind of builds it. She's that bass, and then from there it just goes skyward into weird craziness, and I couldn't stop watching. I totally recommend it. That's why it's my number 10. It's art house horror, so don't think you're getting a horror movie, because you're not. It is art house, so prepare yourself, but it is such a good watch. Number 9. Number 9 is called Ready Player One, and this is everything I love in a movie. Do you just go, oh yes, while I'm trying to film? Ready Player One is awesome. It's directed by Steven Spielberg. It is probably the best thing that Warner Brothers has made this year, and it is brilliant. It's all of my favourite things. It's movies, it's gaming, it's music, it's all in there together. It is Steven Spielberg's homage to just culture, pop culture, everything in there. If you think of a movie, it will probably be in there in some way or another. You've got King Kong, The Shining, you have Chucky popping up, you have Freddy Krueger, you've just got everything. There's a DeLorean from Back to the Future in there. Everything, as obscure as it might be, it's in there. There's something for you. And I loved every single second of it. It's just a great ride. It's about this game called the Oasis, and the Oasis was made by this gentleman called Mr. Halliday, and Halliday dies, and for his entire fortune he is going to give it away to a person who can beat his game and find 3 keys in the game. And then as a young kid going for this, he's just great, and the whole movie is really entertaining and just so different, because you don't get many movies that pay homage to everything else that came before it, and it's just a wonderful mashup, and it really works on screen because Spielberg does his magic. Let's talk about film number 8. Picture this. It is 1969. There are several strangers all heading to Lake Tahoe, where there is a hotel. This hotel is called the El Royale, and it has so many secrets. In fact, the same amount of secrets as the people who stay there, who choose to stay there. And over one treacherous evening, all of these secrets emerge, and it is very entertaining. This film is, just in case you hadn't picked on to what it was called, it's called A Bad Times at the El Royale. But I'll tell you one thing, it's a good time at the cinema. It has a great cast. The director is Drew Goddard. He's the man behind Cabin in the Woods, so if you like that crazy good time, you'll love this crazy good time. There is twists, turns. Jeff Bridges is in it. He's marvellous as the character he's playing, this reverend, very odd character, but a very entertaining one and kind of gripping. So is John Hamm. Also, we have Chris Hemsworth in there as well. If you're going to watch it for Chris Hemsworth, don't. He's in it a lot less than you might think he is. Dakota Johnson's in there as well. Very entertaining, from the 50 Shades of Grey films. Not her best work, but this probably is. Might be her best work. Yeah, I'd say this was her best work. It follows several different stories, so you need to kind of go with it. Lean into the jumping between stories and the learning about different people. Number 7. A little movie called A Star Is Born. Yeah, it's in my list. It's in everybody's list. I don't like that it's in everybody's list, but it is one of the greatest movies of the year, so that's why it's going to be in a lot of people's top 10s list. It is a remake of a 1976 movie called A Star Is Born, featuring Barbra Streisand, and this one is directed by Bradley Cooper and also features Lady Gaga. Boy, Lady Gaga can sing. She really can, and Bradley Cooper doesn't do too bad either. It's singing, it's sort of dancing, and it's sort of really sad, but it's worth a watch. And if you don't believe me, believe all of the other critics that are talking about it. And it's 2.5 hours of musical bliss, even though it's, as I say, quite sad. Make sure you're in the right mood to watch it.
It cuts off about half an hour.
Okay, number 6 is called Searching. Go watch it. It is very different from the other films on this list. It is a crime mystery thriller, all from the viewpoint of a laptop screen. What, Kieran? What on earth could this be? It is brilliant, is what it is. John Cho plays this father who is extremely desperate to find his daughter who has gone missing, and he delves into her laptop to try and figure out where she's gone. The entire film is from the laptop's point of view. So we just see the screen, we see news articles, we see Facebook posts. This all builds up this case for finding this 16-year-old girl. And if I haven't convinced you, watch the trailer, because that gripped me straight from the off. And I remember just clawing at my seat. And what you might notice this far into my list is that I love films that I've no idea what's going to happen next. Number 5 is Bohemian Rhapsody. Is the movie about Queen. Yes, the Queen movie that also everybody's seen and most people love. Some people have a few issues with it. I'm on the love side, clearly, because it's number 5 on my list. And Bohemian Rhapsody is basically chronicles Queen, and from at very early stages of Queen, to when it started, all the way to their 1985 Live Aid concert. And the main thing to take away from this movie, and the main reason to watch this movie, is Rami Malek. Rami Malek plays Freddie Mercury, and he plays him to a T. He is perfect for the part, and there are so many moments that I have watched some interviews and watched a lot of Freddie Mercury stuff, and I kept having to remind myself this wasn't Freddie Mercury. And I have never seen a Queen live. I never have, because Freddie died before I was born. But that night that I watched Bohemian Rhapsody, I felt like I'd seen them live. It's directed by Bryan Singer, the guy behind X-Men, Usual Suspects, all sorts of other great movies, and he just knocks it out of the park. He really does, recreating some iconic Queen moments and also giving us a new eyesight, a new keyhole that we get to peek through into the life and times of the insane and wonderful genius that is Freddie Mercury. It is worth... Let's do number 4. Black Panther. It's a Marvel movie, directed by Ryan Coogler. What a great story about the Wakandan king, T'Challa, having to take back his throne after the events of Civil War and having to defend it from a new threat. That threat being Michael B. Jordan's Killmonger. It is a awesome, relevant, up-to-date Marvel movie. Does something so different with its format and just has some great music to go with it as well. I found myself dancing along to a Marvel movie, which I haven't done since Guardians of the Galaxy. It has some awesome action sequences that I keep having to remind myself, oh yeah, this is just green screen, but it almost looks so real, like they put so much beautiful effort into this. Great performances as well from, as I mentioned, Michael B. Jordan and Chadwick Boseman, but also you got Martin Freeman in there as well, Andy Serkis really pulling this thing together. Lupita Nyong'o as well as the kind of love interest. It's all is an ensemble cast that really works, and the sequence in The Warrior Falls alone makes it the best Marvel movie this year, apart from another movie which might come up in a few moments. Number 3 is called Green Book, and Green Book really took me for a loop. When I saw this film, I was not expecting to see it. I got a wonderful preview screening, and in the UK it doesn't actually come out until next year. But I will count it in my list, because in the US it's out now, and also I saw it this year, so it is one of the best movies I've seen of 2018. I feel so privileged to have watched it. It is about an Italian-American man played by Viggo Mortensen, who is a bouncer. And he ends up being a driver for an African-American musician who is going on a tour. Well, he's actually a pianist, played by Mahershala Ali, by the way. He's going on a tour of South America. No, sorry, not South America. The American South. Two very different places. During the 1970s, there are some hard-hitting sequences, but there's also a heck of a lot of fun. Genuinely didn't think I'd be laughing as much as I did. Laughing to tears. And then having a wonderful moment at the end, just where I cried of pure happiness. I can't remember sitting in a cinema and being so happy as much as I was during Green Book. Number 2, I'm going to be very noisy about a film that's going to be very quiet, because it's called The Quiet Place. That's an awful segue into that movie. Not worthy of how great the film was. Directed by John Krasinski, of course came out in 2018, and blew me away. Also features Emily Blunt. It's about a small family who have to basically survive and look after themselves in a world where they can make no sound. There are these horrific creatures which stalk the grounds and have ultra-sensitive hearing. I'm pretty sure I wasn't breathing for an awful lot of the movie. I definitely did not see what was going to come next. It is, once again, made me cry. A lot of films on this list made me cry. It's enough horror for it to kind of also be sort of action, definitely thriller more than horror. So I do recommend checking it out. There's not many horror sequences if you're not a big horror fan. I'm not either, to be fair. So it's a really great family story, even though there are huge monsters that want to kill the family. But it is wonderful. That's why John Krasinski's Quiet Place is number 2 on my list. And this means we're at number 1. As I say, there are films that I haven't seen this year, so don't be shocked if number 1 isn't what you're expecting. But I'm a huge child at heart. I love action, I love pretty colours, and I just love a great thought-out story. And this all comes together, in my eyes, in a film called Spiderman Into the SpiderVerse, which I've seen recently, and I suppose it's close to my heart, but the fact that I saw it 2 more times straight afterwards tells me enough that it is perfect. It really is. Of course, it's about Spider-Man, and it's about one of the more obscure Spider-Man comics. It's led by Lord and Miller, who are the guys behind Lego Movie and also Lego Batman. And they are the same guys that got kicked off Solo earlier this year as well. Well, last year. I think would have done a great job as Solo. They kind of took this on instead, and thank goodness they did. It's just a delight. It has a wonderful animation that looks like pop art from classic comic books. It has an amazing cameo by Stan Lee, which reduced me to tears, considering everything that's going on at the moment, and the fact of his recent passing, which is heartbreaking, truly be missed. But that was a lovely moment. And Miles Morales as Spider-Man, a different Spider-Man. In fact, we have 6 different Spider-Men and women in this film, including Spider-Gwen as well as Spider-Woman, and we see Spider-Ham. If it sounds too insane for you, that's fine, but if you're going to enjoy this movie, you have to lean into its insanity, and you have to lean into the story. And if you do, if you hold on tight, you enjoy that ride, you are going to have an awesome time, because there's some great voices in there as well. Chris Pine, Mahershala Ali again in my top 3. You got Haley Steinfeld, Nicolas Cage, so many. But it really works as an ensemble. And by the looks of it, we're going to get a sequel because it's doing so well at the moment, and I will be first in line to buy a ticket. And I think it really sums up the insanity that's been 2018 with this crazy film coming out on top of my eyes. It's been a long one. It's been a long 2018. We've had a lot of dreadful movies, but there has been some truly lovely ones. And well, for me, Into the Spider-Verse is on top. If I have not mentioned your favourite film of the year, I apologise. Message me. I might not have seen it because sometimes the US and UK films don't really line up properly, or I might not like it, and we'll have a wonderful, not argument, we will have a wonderful disagreement on why I don't think it deserves to be in my top 10. But at the end of the day, these are my opinions. And if you don't agree with them, that's great. We are movie fans. We will talk it out and be civil. That's what we do. That's why I started this channel, so I can give you my views, and so I can just talk about my thoughts on films, and so I can talk with you guys and see what you think. Thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you on the next one when I talk about something else movie related and maybe Stranger Things related, who knows, and just something wonderful we'll be chatting about soon. I hope to see you on that one. Don't forget to share with your other movie loving friends. Just comment, tell me what you think. I want to talk to you guys. And so have a great Christmas, a great New Year if this comes out after Christmas, because it might, because my editor's quite slow, but we'll see what happens. See you guys soon. Have a great New Year, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much. In fact, I'll give you a little thumbs up as well.